They say that when the conquistadors arrived in Izamal, they didn't just tear down the pyramids, they want to trap the gods, and the Virgin they brought from Spain wasn't meant to replace them, but to watch over them. This image has been the last hope of survival during many epidemics. Since her first procession, Izamal has never stopped seeing miracles, smelling flowers, or spotting strange shadows in the distance, or hearing whispers that should not exist. Yucatan was one of the few places in Mexico that could never be fully conquered by Spain. In fact, the first attempt of independence happened here almost 100 years before it succeeded elsewhere, led by a native Mayan man, Jacinto Canec. But even after the conquest, people never truly forgot their old ways. Many Mayan traditions, beliefs, and rituals stay alive inside their homes where they were still allowed. Franciscan monks brought Catholicism to this land, but the people still carry pain from their being forced to forget the gods of their ancestors. These are stories told by the first generations who tried to embrace this new faith. Stories where, for the first time, Europeans, Mayas, and Mestizos stood side by side as equals. In the heart of Yucatan stands the convent of San Antonio de Padua. Its atrium is the second largest in the world, only after St. Peter's Square in the Vatican. It was built over a Mayan temple, once dedicated to Itzamna, god of the sky and wisdom. Today, people praise the Virgin, but the stone beneath hides ruins and buried past. Three small hills nearby are the last pyramids they didn't dare destroy. They say that at night shadows crawl from the convent walls, shadows shaped like forgotten Mayan gods. The same men who once burned the Mayan codices later regretted it. This image of the Virgin came from Spain in 1648. Some say it was carved a century earlier. It stopped in Guatemala for final touches, but her final destination was Izamal, placed right on top of the old temple of Itzamna. The Franciscans saw this as a victory, but soon rumors began. The Mayas didn't see the Virgin as a blessing. They said The ancient gods were still there, trapped, not defeated, and the Virgin didn't replace them. She watches them, an eternal guardian, and when she is alone, the gods whisper to her in a forgotten language. She replies with cold, endless silence. Was 1633, a desperate Mayan couple brought their sick daughter to the convent in Izamal. 2 days later, she died, heartbroken. They wrapped her body in blankets and lay her in front of the Virgin. They wept, they begged, they protested. Then the girl started to sweat. She groaned. They uncovered her and she opened her eyes. She came back to life, and in front of 1,000 people, including the governor Antonio de Figueroa, the little girl who had never learned Spanish or religion, recited the Hail Mary in perfect Spanish. This was documented by the Franciscan friar Bernardo de Lizana. In 1790, Spanish soldiers tried to take the Virgin's image to Valladolid, Spain. They thought the people of Izamal didn't deserve her. They locked her in a wooden box, but every time they tried to lift it, the box grew heavier as if something was holding her to the ground. The native men carrying her collapsed. No one could move her. It happened on what is now 31st Street. There, they built an arch, and that one is not an entrance, but as a warning, so they understand the Virgin does not want to leave Izamal. Then, no one has ever tried again. In 1782, smallpox devastated Izamal. 183 people died, and 100 of them were child. Just keep in mind that at that time, the people that lived there was a minor amount of person as in other place of the world, not like these days. Knowing this, that number changed on our mind. Death showed no mercy. Mayas, mestizos, mulattoes, and Spaniards all fell. In desperation, the town held a silent procession. They carried the Virgin through empty streets, past the crying of survivors, and they say that as she passed, the smell of death disappeared and was replaced by the scent of flowers. It was the very first time the aroma was noticed. Since then, every December, the flowers return. On the night of April 16, 1829, a fire destroyed the original Virgin image, but the elders say it wasn't destroyed. The truth is that no remains were found. They say she escaped down into secret tunnels beneath the convent and hid inside a cave beneath the ruins of the Kagmo pyramid. There, guarded by a hidden cenote, she waits until every December 8th when she returns. That's why some say there are two virgins, the one we see and the one that hides deep underground with the ancient gods of the Maya. These days, every December during the Virgin's festivities, people in Izamal reports a strange phenomenon. The entire convent smells of flowers. No flowers are nearby, no incense, just the perfume floating through the streets like a sign. Some believe it's the spirit of Jose Chuk, a faithful sacristan who used to walk at night between the convent and the pyramids, decorating the temple with flowers. They say he still walks unseen, leaving his scent behind, as if he is preparing the way for someone else, or walking beside the real Virgin, the one who still walks among the living. In Izamal, faith is not only devotion, it's a mix of sorrow, memory, and the strange things that history left behind. If you ever visit Izamal and smell flowers while the streets are empty, don't look back, because you may not understand what your eyes will see. If you enjoy this story, subscribe for more tales you've probably never heard before. With nothing more to say, stay safe, stay curious. See you next time.